to go back there. Anyway, here we are. We're live. It's Wednesday, Xbox Nation. Very excited to to have people back. Yes, we got some people back.
Words.
Yeah, we can talk, and I got somebody that can yell, and all the great stuff. Mooch, you're back, man. How you doing, man?
It's good to be back, buddy. You missed the show. You listen to the show on the road. It's not the same. You feel bad. You're like, I want to be there, but I'm not. But listen, great week to be back. Crap, lots to talk about. Some stuff that spun up. Like again, we got the same stuff that's going on. Crap seems like snowballs turning into avalanches, and then they're all kind of nothing at the end, but still good talking points nonetheless.
Yeah, great talking points. For one of the main talking points I want to get to, which I will be able to get to, is just the reactions from people. Like to me, that was more important than the actual deal itself or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that. So we got Salty. He's back too, man. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good to be back, guys. I survived my family birthday party. That's what I was doing last week. You know how those family get-togethers go sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I survived it. I got my Red Bull. We're ready to go. Let's do it.
Absolutely. We also got the one and only Foxy. What's up, Foxy? How's it going with you?
Here, take your meds before we get started. I just want to make sure that everybody knows I'm doing my part.
Some meds. Yes,
I'm looking out for the community. Don't want to spook anyone away.
Don't worry, I'm good.
Yes, I'm still here. Like these other guys, I was here last week too. So what's up, Chad?
Oh yes, thankfully yes. And we also had the Don. Thanks to him for filling in, and Luca. We had Luca
rant.
filling in,
it was
and
amazing.
He showed up a little bit in there, and he was like, "Boom, boom, kaboom! Grab more dinosaurs in the room." And I was like, "Hell yeah, noob!" So I love that guy. He's great there. And lucky we got joining us this week, last minute. Predator, who couldn't join us last week, but I did invite him. What's up, Pred? How's it going, man?
Good, man. Off the bench again. I love it.
Yeah, we're calling you in, man. You got to sink those threes.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't come last week. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was doing.
That's okay, man.
Wait, were you selling vapes like bot? I want to know.
I don't vape. I do not vape.
Okay.
Well, good.
You might hear me sipping on some wine or something like that, but not vaping.
There you go, buddy. Vino.
Yeah, Xbot is off doing something vape related tonight. That's why he can't be here. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He's a busy guy, man. That's our Xbot, man. It's a shame because we had, well, I don't know if we have Halo stuff to talk about, but we could always get some Halo stuff or Destiny stuff in there for him to talk about, and he loves that stuff. So I wanted to talk about this, just kind of briefly touch on it. They saying that it's like chatter or whatever, and sort of take it in the same vein as that EA rumor. I think what was that, a year and a half ago, something like that, where Microsoft was going to buy EA. There's the rumors that Sony is in negotiations to buy Take-Two, which caused stock in Sony to rise and also caused stock in Take-Two to rise, which is how these things work. Sort of forces a false narrative or whatever. I don't think it's true. I think it's completely nonsense, but I will say this. The part that I did enjoy was, all right, now when Microsoft was rumored to buy EA, everybody was like, oh, all the Xbox fans wanted Microsoft to buy EA. Why? Because they wanted some exclusive games. We'd been starving for some exclusive games. We wanted some exclusive games. Microsoft would have never turned any of those games exclusive, by the way. They would have all just been like Minecraft.
Right.
And we all kind of know that. With this, it seems like everybody had a different sort of opinion of it. They thought, well, hey, Sony's weird like that. They would probably make GTA 6 a PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? I mean, you could still, obviously, they're not going to pull copies of Red Dead 2 off the shelves or GTA 5 and make you give in your copy or anything. They're still going to make that $1 billion a year annually off, GTA Online, which makes them their money back, right? Because the market cap for Take-Two is only like $11 billion. And Sony definitely had the money to do that. So again, I don't think it's happening. But the funny thing was people going, damn, I'd have to get a PlayStation 5 then, right? Like a lot of them, not every Xbox fan, but a lot of the Xbox fans are on that Phil Spencer Kool-Aid where everywhere, everyone, and gaming, love gaming. Gaming is love and peace and harmony. Right? That's everybody was on that, right? And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have to get a PS5 then. What? PS5. So you mean content pushes hardware? Holy shit, Mooch!
Who would have known? I had no idea.
I certainly didn't know. I wouldn't have known.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, holy cow. Like, I didn't, Mooch, did you? That's news to me.
Well, I mean, what I found really interesting with when you see the rumors come out and you see everything kind of transpire, that's when you see a lot of the true colors. And like what you see is like people are like, wow, all of a sudden I got to buy a PS5 or if that, right, let's use if in air quotes.
Yeah.
If that happened, which we know probably will not, absolutely not. But if that were to happen, it was like, oh my God, Sony's going to hold these. They're going to be exclusive. And I'm talking about, I watched about 4 or 5, 6 different types of videos on YouTube immediately following this rumor that leaked. And you had some of the big boys running with this too. This wasn't something small. And, it's like you said, it does make you scratch your head though, right? So in one camp, you have people saying, if GTA 6, if Red Dead Redemption 3, if these other games all end up going to Sony and they become exclusive, I have to buy a PS5. But you have those same people who say that saying, you know what, I'm okay with games everywhere. And here's the thing. I don't see why we can't have both. The question I have more than anything else, and I think we'll talk about it tonight, is why is Xbox pushing the games everywhere when Sony's going to have the games everywhere too, but they don't push it? You know why? They want to double dip. And this is why I think we've said this for a while. And I've said this for a long time, guys. Don't give credit where credit's not due. But where it is due, you got to give credit. Yeah. And Sony's going to double dip because what Sony's going to do is they're going to have you guys all go out and get your PS5, right? And I'm going to buy one, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people on the panel, a lot of people in the chat, I'm going to buy a PS5. And then they're going to say, guess what? If you want to play The Last of Us 2, not day one, but if you want to play The Last of Us 2 on your PC, probably about 18 months after it releases or 12 months after it releases, knock yourself out. So they're going to double dip. What I don't understand is Microsoft has a great model. They've got a great first-party studio base now. They don't need to do this. And I know, we were saying that, don't bring up old stuff. So we won't bring up old stuff. But realistically, I don't understand why Microsoft is forced to make you have to want to take your game on the road or want to put their games day and date in the Game Pass or want to put it on PC day one. They could have double dipped. These other companies are going to double dip. So they're going to do that. And, a lot of people in the panel are going to say, well, you know why, Mooch? Because they're consumer friendly. Horse shit. They're not consumer friendly. They're a Fortune 500. There's no Fortune 500 that's at a blood drive. You know what I mean? It's like they don't care. They want your money just as well as anybody else's. So what I'm just confused with is you watch Inside Xbox this past week, and it was just, like a lot of people made a joke. It was Inside PC. I'm okay with these moves. I don't care. But at the same time, you do scratch your head. I want to hear what the rest of the panel's going to say. It's just very confusing why they're shoving this day and date stuff down our throat day one.
Yeah, well, I think that and again, we're all human. So, we can change our mind and things like that. I just thought it was funny a little bit, just the difference in how people were reacting to this news and how, I'll have to. It all ties in, though. Yeah, I'll have to get this specifically now, right? And I get it because Phil Spencer pushes that thing where his quotes out there, we don't make any money off the hardware, which is true. Sony doesn't either. But if you sell a crap ton of hardware, you're going to sell a crap ton of software.
Right.
So you have even more potential there. It's like Microsoft doesn't even care. And so they go out there and they push that, we don't make anything off of hardware anyway. We want to put our software on everything because that's where the money is. Well, you know what? If you had 100 million consoles out there, it would be less of a burden. You should still try to sell your consoles. You should still try to entice people. And I mean, we can tear apart that horrible Inside Xbox in a little bit as well, because I want to hear what the panel thinks about this faux Take-Two stuff. But, for me personally, it's almost a shame that they don't even mention the word Xbox anymore in terms of the console. So that's a little bit odd. And then you see stuff like this and how quickly people are on board with that exclusive content stuff actually, gives people incentive to, buy these consoles and, and buy a certain thing, where would Nintendo be without their exclusives, where would Sony be? They buy consoles. And, when you look at the leaked, I guess, kind of leak, and I didn't even have this on the thing, but the leaked NPD for February came out, right? And it was 54,000 for Xbox One. That's probably the lowest they've ever had. That's Wii U numbers, right? So again, those are leaked. I think it was Z Huge, one of those people from that site, leaked those numbers. Those, if true, are incredibly low numbers, and just goes to show you that we can sit there and go, Xbox is fine, and Xbox, as Microsoft sees it now, I guess is fine, But all the stuff where they're like consumer friendly and options and all this stuff, let's call it what it is. Sony chased them out of the console business. They were doing so piss poor, they had to do something. So they hedged their bets, man. Yeah, they hedged their bets.
Now, if you see the entertainment industry, it's not because they got chased out by Sony. They don't even see Sony as a competitor. Why would they be chased out by someone that's not a competitor. It doesn't make any sense. The industry is moving in this direction. It's not confined in one box. It's a smart business's decision to access all these. You know, how many Steam users are out there? 130 million.
Salt, I want to give you the podium right back because you've been waiting patiently. Here's my question to you. It's for you and only you, because I know I hear you chomping at the bit. And my question to you is, but why not? Why not double dip? Why just, because what you're saying is true, and I'm not arguing it with you at all. At all. I think you're 100% spot on. That is completely where the future is going. But since they do have a box, and regardless if they got beat out 2-1, who cares? 50 million consoles sold at the end of this generation is still tip the cap, right? Nice work. Respect. Okay? Still good. Not Sony good. It's good. You can see that they're definitely alienating a bit of the people who like the box. What I'm saying to you is, if this wasn't Microsoft and this was Mooch's Salt Industries, okay? Right? Yeah. I would say to you, Salt, you'd say to me, Mooch, what we got to do is what you just said. Everything in the world is going in that direction. I say, Salt, I'm with you. Let's do it. 100%. But can we please do this too? Why not? Why? Because we have a dedicated hardcore group of people that are buying dedicated hardware. You can't sit there and say to me that there's people that are going to go and build a rig, whether the rig is $700 or $7,000. That's up to you. They're going to go do that. Why wouldn't we want to focus on the people that buy our $300 or $500 box? Both are still being manufactured. So there has to be some TLC and care into that. And I know, Salt, you did a great job showing Inside Xbox. You have to be honest. That was this show is more Inside Xbox than that show.
Yeah, but you got to look at them changing the name of the company's gaming division is called Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at it outside of what we traditionally view Xbox being a console. It's not.
Does that mean they should totally ignore us?
No, the thing is, they're a company. You know what I'm saying? So here, I was saying this on Gaming News at Noon. See, the thing is life is fluid. Things change, right? Businesses change. Disney, for example, they purchased Fox. I mean, if you look at the net worth of Disney, they're nearing what, $170 billion. They actually paid a good amount of money for Fox, nearing 70 billion, because they found it was necessary to compete with their streaming service. It was in direct correlation to streaming services. That's why they snatched them up. It wasn't necessarily the Marvel Fox situation. It's because they need content for their streaming service. So they're preparing for the future. They said that was a focal point for the company going forward, not just these movies and stuff like that. So some people could get pissed off about them snatching up Fox or doing this and that. Companies change with the seasons, with the years. If you don't do it, a lot of times your company will be left behind because trends go a certain way. And if you're stuck within your certain viewpoint and you're like, oh man, we have consoles. We've always had consoles. We're going to continue to have consoles. The market will pass you by. And then a couple of years down the road, when everybody's doing streaming services, they're doing this and that, and you don't have the infrastructure ready, then what do you say? See, the thing is,
go ahead.
The thing is, I understand. See, Microsoft knows that they're going to be pissing people off. They know they're going to be losing consumers, but that's a small fraction to what they're going to be gaining in the amount of consumers through PC, through Steam. You should have seen how many people are saying that Halo's the next thing since Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Great. And hey, guys, Halo's back. Did you hear? Halo's back.
It's back, but they were shitting on it before when it was a console exclusive. So you have those 130 Steam users or whatever, 130 million. You're broadening your consumer share. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear what you're saying. Let me pay some bills real quick, okay? Y9 Power says traditional gaming is becoming a bigger and bigger subject in the gaming industry. Inside Xbox missed that mark. I agree. This was the worst one that I've seen, and we're going to definitely get into that. Failed Pyromancer says Microsoft says it's the way the industry is going because they had to tell their investors some BS about how it's going because console sales are poor. Sony and Nintendo don't have to change anything. Here's the thing, Failed Pyromancer. I know that everybody's going to be bringing their own streaming thing.
I disagree with his comment too, because just listen to Sean Layden. Sean Layden said he envisions a world without consoles. Okay.
Yeah, but he's talking about like very far in the future, and he still mentions that PlayStation is the best place to play. Though
positioning themselves with PlayStation now, they just opened it up in new regions. See, the thing is people put blinders on and see what they want to see. The PlayStation dudes have this elitist mentality, like the PlayStation fanboys, the extremists. they're sectioned off in the playground. It's like the dude that didn't want to play with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nintendo's doing stuff. Google, everybody's positioning themselves. Do you guys want more exclusives? Do you want day and date stuff in PlayStation Now? No, fuck that. I don't want that. I don't want our games going anywhere. And it's just, you guys have the beer goggles are on so hard that you can't see the sun shining in front of your fucking face.
Well, here's the thing. We don't live in the past. We don't live in the future. We live in the now, and the now right now is consoles.
What is the analytics telling you?
The analytics right now is telling me that the PlayStation 4 is about to become one of the best-selling consoles of all time, meaning that there's a healthy amount of people that want to...
What is the net worth of Sony in the grand scheme of things?
Well, if you want to talk about...
58 billion.
But you're talking about Sony as a whole.
You know what
if you talk about PlayStation, PlayStation's worth more than Xbox. Yeah, but Microsoft is dipping into a lot of things.
You know what Google's net worth is?
A lot.
See, the thing is, you're talking about the big boys. The big boys are starting to play, and Sony is just such a minute company. It's so small. The thing is, if they wanted to snatch up Sony, they could flick their wrist and it would be gone. It'd be like Thanos snapping his fingers.
Look, I like Xbox. Hey, I like Xbox as much as the next guy here, right? But let's be real. Microsoft got their asses kicked.
No, but
from day one.
They're playing checkers and then Microsoft is playing chess. They
Luke,
don't even see him as competition.
I mean, salty. I get what you're saying. They don't see him as competition. I bet they did at the beginning of the generation until they got spanked. Right?
So
I mean, you don't think they came out with the Xbox One with the intention to try to beat? The whole idea of the Xbox was to stop Sony's dominance and from winning the living room.
They don't care, dude. You're talking about sales, right? Of consoles that doesn't make
not
the company
just that. I mean, I'm just
penny.
saying you have that, but if you sell a lot of consoles, you can sell a lot of software.
Okay, so here's the deal. I understand console warriors have their feet in the ground. A lot of the people have their beliefs and what they believe things should be. Like I said before, technology moves on, and sometimes it moves on without you. See, the thing is, if you didn't want to upgrade to HD televisions, like I said, you could put your feet in the sand and say, "Hey, I'm not going to do it." But eventually,
half the people are still using
programming. I'm saying SD to HD televisions, right? You could say, "Hey, I'm going to keep my SD television. I'm not going to upgrade." Right? That's not for me. But eventually, the television shows said, "Hey, you're not going to watch TV if you don't have a set that will pick up an HD receiver."
Hey guys, my buddy Sir X, man, he says crap is right this time. I'm pissed. He says, "Give it to Luca."
Let me chime in on this.
Go ahead, Brad. You didn't get it. Go ahead, man.
I agree with Salt to some degree where he's looking forward. He's forward thinking, and I get where he's coming from. I completely.
So many salty ass Sony fanboys, because I know that's a majority of your base crap that love to talk shit. The thing is, you guys just worry a little bit. I can throw out figures to you guys, and you guys can put the blinders on. You guys are so
salty.
fucking
I'm on your side.
blind. No, I'm not talking against you. I'm talking to them, because there's so many of them in crap's fan base, right? They love to talk shit and they say that I'm wrong or this and that. The thing is, look at figures, dude. If Google wanted, they could buy up Sony today, dude, and they wouldn't even.
Well, I mean, you couldn't do it without there. I mean, it's hard to buy a Japanese company. First of all, it has to get approval and things like that. So that's why it's almost impossible for like Microsoft to buy one of these Japanese developers. There's a lot of due process. That's why when people go buy Sega, it's really nonsense, because it's almost impossible for an American company. Sir X-Man, he goes, "I'll put you back on punishment." Hold on. Gotham guy says, "Crap, for the love of God, stop saying that. Microsoft doesn't care. You and everyone on the channel knows that Phil is saving all the big announcements for E3. Microsoft is looking to 2020. Let's just all..." Hey, dude, I'm with you, man. I'm excited to see what they do at E3. I am hoping that it isn't xCloud PC stuff, right? Because if it's that stuff, I'm not sure that for me personally anyway, that there's I'm hoping it's just game announcement. Like, focus on the game stuff, right?
Yeah,
it still feels like it's a little bit too early to even be it still
more
feels
content.
like it's a little too early to be talking about next gen consoles already. To me it is anyway, right? Like, we're getting so many great games, we're packed with great games. Like, let these consoles simmer a little bit. Aren't we getting some amazing things out of the X still? Like, I would much rather focus on that, but it's like Microsoft has got to jump it because Sony's got to get out there, right? Sony's going to they can't let Sony have them, even though supposedly they don't look at Sony as competition. They can't let Sony have another box out before them, right? You also got Google. Who knows what the hell Google's doing, but I mean, they're in the mix. But again, Google's not really a player unless they got some kind of exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, and considering Microsoft is all kumbaya and friendly, I can bet you dollars to donuts they ain't putting shit on that Google device. So
let me finish what I was trying to say a while ago. I kind of agree with Salty. I want to get back on topic about Sony buying Take-Two here for a second. They kind of have to. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely not.
I think that's a rumor. People saw stocks rise. They wanted to question why, and it wasn't because of Sony buying them. It was because of their announcements about their games coming out in the future. But so that's a rumor. But it would not surprise me if Sony is out there looking for studios, because what they don't want is Microsoft buying everything else, Google buying everything, Amazon. You know, like everybody else is buying up shit. Sony's not doing that right now. They're just kind of living in their own little bubble with their own studios. And right now, they don't think, we need to do anything because they're the market leader, but that can easily be taken away from them in a generation, just like we kind of saw on the Xbox side. So it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if they have the capital to do that right now, to do the things that these other companies are doing, but I could see them looking into buying some smaller studios going forward just to kind of solidify what they're doing. And to Salty's comment earlier about all the other stuff he was discussing, like Sony's going to follow suit with what Google, Amazon, and Microsoft is doing. They're going to go streaming as well.
Absolutely.
They have to. They're going to grow with the times, and you can kind of see that in the writings on the walls right now with them and what they're doing and how they're kind of positioning themselves. I don't know if people love gaming on console, especially the PlayStation guys. However, I don't know if they're going to really be accepting of the whole streaming service like some of us Xbox guys are.
Yeah, here's the thing, Pred, is the streaming stuff has been available on PlayStation since the beginning of the generation, and nobody really uses it.
Yeah, but that's not a good experience. If they have a good experience, then they probably open up to the idea.
I don't know.
That's the case. I
have to pay another bill real quick. Sorry if these are going too fast, guys. Holomoko17 says, Salty, you going to tell Nintendo to make their games available on everything for the sake of their best interest? Question mark. Salty.
What was that? I was responding to.
Okay. So Holomoko
in your chat.
Holomoko17. Apologies if that's not how you pronounce your name. Says, Salty, you going to tell Nintendo to make their games available on everything for the sake of their best interests?
They already are doing that. By the way, they're putting their games on mobile devices. So what are you asking me? They're already going to do that.
But I think he means like, would they put like? I realize they're putting like specific games that they're making for mobile, but they're not putting Breath of the Wild on mobile or Xbox or PlayStation.
Nintendo's making Nintendo Labo with their VR. I mean, they walk a line that no one else does. Like, I don't understand what the question's about. Like, Nintendo's partnering with Xbox because they don't see each other as competitors, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there is no real competition there. I mean, Nintendo's probably already about.
And if you look at you look at Epic, the news just came out that they didn't want to do crossplay with Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation because the competition's not there. So I think they teamed them up against mobile players.
So the thing is, though, if we go back to my original comment, I think even at the end of the show, we'll all kind of go back to this original statement I made earlier in the show, is that I don't understand why Xbox isn't double dipping. And you just said it yourself. When someone said to you, hey, Salt, why don't you ask Nintendo or Sony to do it? And you said it yourself. They're going to do it. They are. They're going to do the same thing Microsoft's doing. But the difference between Nintendo and Sony is Sony still is interested in both camps. You can have, this is one of the only instances in business where you can have your cake and eat it too. And let me give you guys another analogy real quick. Okay. You've got this unbelievable pizzeria, sells the best pizza in your area. I don't care where you live, right? All of a sudden you're like, I got to go there and get it. They say, listen, no, now we're delivering. We're delivering to your house. And you're like, this is great. I haven't been able to get a Mooch pizza ever. All of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm downtown. I'm so glad Mooch is delivering pizza. But here's the deal. I'm going to stop and see Mooch. You go over to the door. It's locked. And I'm screaming in the back. I'm like, we only deliver. We're doing the convenient thing. Go home. We'll bring you the pizza home. You're like, but I'm here. I want the pizza in the shop like I used. No, we're locked. Go home. We're going to bring it to you. So what Microsoft's doing is they're locking the door and they're saying, we don't care if you like the console. Don't worry about the console. Don't worry about this. We're going to bring it to you everywhere. We're delivering. What I'm saying to you is this. Ask anybody who's got a pizzeria anywhere. Sometimes you want to eat in the pizza place.
Yeah.
People still want the console. What I'm saying is they could have their cake, in this case, their pizza, and deliver it too. But what they're doing time and time again is they're neglecting the people that want to eat in-house, and they're taking care of the people in the drive-thru and sitting at home.
They're taking care of the people that egg. They're taking care of the people that egg their house time and time again.
So you know what I mean? Like
treating them better than the hardcore fans. That's
but
the
I
part
agree. You know, I do. Crap, but I'm going to give you the mic.
So you guys are telling me that I'm not going to get Gears on Xbox? Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, you're gonna get Gears on Xbox.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
You're just gonna have. Here's the thing, Foxy. You're gonna have less competition. You're going to have less people that are playing the game.
I'm going to be playing the same game that everybody else can play on Xbox. You just have extra options.
You're going to have, but the options thing is only there if you're okay with those options, right? If you want to play more against, like me, you know what I'm saying? I like playing against people on the same platform. You know what I mean? I don't want to play against people.
There's still going to be a whole bunch of console users. I think there's still, and there always will be more console, especially in like exclusive like games like Gear. That's why they had a PC section for them. It didn't work out, and then they had to put them with us because we have the player base.
Yeah,
like, I don't see the issue that they have extra shit. I mean, it's Microsoft. Obviously, PC is like their bread and butter, and yeah, maybe they were shitty at helping making and all that shit with PC last gen, but they're actually fixing that now. Even if people still hate them and don't like their store or whatever the fuck. I'm still going to be playing the same games on Xbox. I would have an issue if they stopped making games on Xbox and all of a sudden they're only making stuff for PC and their streaming service.
Do you not have an issue with them not even mentioning Xbox hardly anymore or going...
They mentioned Xbox and Inside Xbox, but all right.
Yeah, I mean, but they start off the show talking about PC stuff. Right, and then it's more xCloud and PC.
Yeah,
stuff.
but it doesn't affect me because it's like, a game I already played. So I'm like, good for them.
How long? We all think that they're going to continue to support Xbox, and they will.
Crap,
right?
You're a terrible trial lawyer.
But I'm just saying,
the answer you wanted, and you let it go by.
Go ahead.
Well, you got straight of thought. No, what she said was she basically said, "I don't care." My point being is she tuned into an Xbox show, didn't listen or hear about Xbox, and she's okay with it. And the question is did you just tune into an Xbox show or not, though? But Fox, here's my point. And listen, guys, again, I want to reiterate this from the top. I don't mind what Microsoft's doing. I don't care. I don't care. I got an Xbox, I got a PC, I got a PS4. Hear me out. What I'm trying to say to you, though, Fox, is this. You tuned in and tell me right now, if you could, 3 highlights that are Xbox-centric that came out of Inside Xbox. And begin.
Oh, my God. I like how you mentioned that for, like, the weakest
It was an hour of content, and there's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Pizza.
So my point is, while you're on the stand...
They had a onesie that said Xbox on it, but I'm not sure if that means anything.
So what I'm saying to you is this. It goes back to the, can I have my pizza and to get it delivered too? Why are you not paying attention to both?
Halo Reach is also ruining on Xbox as well. It's not like Halo Reach is a PC exclusive. So they have a new controller for your Xbox.
So listen, you're going to give Age of Empires, Gears Tactics, which hasn't come yet to Xbox. It will. But my point is why not throw... Listen, honestly, come on. Why not throw Reach in for the Xbox fans? Give them a nugget. Give them a nugget. They didn't get any. You know what they're saying? You want Reach? Pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, this is what I'm trying to say to you is finally, and I said the crap before the show went live. I said, I really hope we get Reach. And listen, I got Game Pass, but that doesn't make it exempt just because you have Game Pass. And you're like, well, it doesn't include me. Yeah. It does include you because maybe you won't be in that line next time. So what I'm saying to you is that, like, I have no problem with Microsoft and Xbox's direction. I honestly don't. I really, truly don't. But all I'm saying is from a business standpoint, right, since we talk about business, if I'm in business, you know what I like? All the money, not just where the future's. I want to bring everyone to the future. How do you do that? Bring them all. You got to take the arm and scoop them all. What Microsoft's doing is he's putting the arm right in the middle of the crowd and grabbing half and saying, we're going this way. And the rest of them are like, when are you coming back to get us? You know? So, like, my point is that that's what I don't understand. And for some reason at Microsoft, they're digging the hole deeper and deeper, saying, this is the way we're going. And I agree. Google's joining the race. Amazon, Apple, Verizon, all of them. And Sony and Nintendo are going to follow suit. But the difference is Sony and Nintendo are trying to get you to go forward and at the same time keep all their hardcore in.
Yeah, they're remembering that because check this out: the $2 billion that Microsoft, which by the way is unattainable, it'll never happen. These $2 billion number that they throw out, those aren't 2 billion people that are going to buy 20 games a year like us, right? These are people that are going to play little casual games once in a while on a phone, and they're hoping to get them in the ecosystem. They should be more worried about getting hardcore gamers, right? Because it isn't 20 years in the future yet. Streaming isn't the main way. Hell, you know what I'm saying? There's such a difference. If you looked at that xCloud stream that we saw yesterday, that was the laggiest crap I've ever seen in my life, right? She's pushing this is a problem that Microsoft has, and I pointed it out right away when I saw it. She's pushing over on the controls, and it takes not milliseconds, but full on seconds for the thing to react to what she's doing. That's a problem. So you're trying to sell xCloud to people, saying it's better than this, better than that. Well, how do we know? Just because it's Microsoft? That doesn't necessarily make it better. I'm sure it probably is. But at the end of the day, you need a legit showcase of your shit. Not someone who doesn't know what they're doing, tentatively pushing on a thing and it not responding. You need to show people that people are wary of this because PlayStation Now is trash. And you have somebody who doesn't know what they're doing up there demonstrating it for 2 minutes. Like, that's people's first glimpse at this?
It's like when they showed Crackdown a couple of years ago and had people
exactly.
playing it. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Sir X-Man says for the future they should call it the Microsoft PC show instead of Inside Xbox. Right, crap. Yeah, man. That you know what? I tweeted that out. Sure, I'm salty. I'm pissed off. I get it, man. You know what I mean? Like I get tired of holding my tongue about this stuff because the Xbox has totally forgot about the fans that they took them to the dance. Man, we supported this company when they're giving us nothing for content for years. You're selling us a $500 console that's weaker, forcing a Kinect on us. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like they went from wanting us to feel like first-class citizens to not even mention in the box. You know what I mean? Like they're coming out. The last few exclusives that they've announced were for PC, Age of Empires, Gears Tactics, and what the hell is that? Minecraft. What the hell is that damn thing? Minecraft Dungeons or whatever it is, right? Like those are what they announced. They're very unclear with their own games when it comes to crossplay, even, right? Is Reach crossplay going to be just between the PC versions, which by the way, it's on Steam, right? And Phil Spencer talks out of his ass where he's like, we want no boundaries. Woohoo! No boundaries. You can play. You asked for Master Chief Collection on Steam, and we're giving it to you because we believe in that. Well, Phil, do you believe in Infinite on Steam day and date or Gears 5 day and date on Steam? No, because you want people to use your shitty Windows 10 and you want to have some kind of exclusive content on that. That's what it comes down to, right? So Phil can sit there and bullshit a lot of people, but it's hard to really bullshit me because you can see that he really only cares about, he still does care about exclusive content, and he knows exclusive content matters. He's given people on Steam 10-year-old games, throwing them a bone, trying to get that goodwill, and people are totally like not seeing that it's totally not what they think, right? Failed Pyromancer says that xCloud looked like it was a video because whoever was driving was not her. She moved left so many times and the car curved lightly around. Dude, it was either a completely fake, which shame on them, or the latency is just so bad that I don't even know what to say. I'm choking on my own rage over here. I'm choking on my own rage, Mooch. Help me. What's up, man?
I hear what you're saying. And I think both sides of the panel are making a lot of sense. And that's my whole thing. There's really no, this person's right, this person's wrong. Salty's 100% right in his avenue of that's the future. And Crap's 100%
I agree.
right.
Look, here's the thing.
Let's also not forget the hardcore that still want a dedicated box.
Don't forget the fucking box is what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't care about the streaming stuff. Look, here's the thing. You want me to say this?
From a consumer standpoint, not as far as a console
I'll say this.
Or a monetary
that streaming stuff in America will fail. It's going to fail. It's going to continue to fail. People don't use that stuff here.
Someone clip that audio, please.
Please do. It's gonna be the biggest failure ever. Do you see who in their right mind is going to carry around a freaking Xbox controller in their pocket to hook it up to their?
Honestly, I have a Switch and I carry it around because we had this conversation. Crap, you don't like.
I understand that.
The thing is, it's like it's about the same stuff to lug around when you're carrying a Switch with a case and games and a charger potentially than a controller and a phone. You carry your phone all the time around. It's this little dock thing that you put on. It's not that bad, honestly. I mean, I think it's less gear than a Switch, to be honest.
Carrying an Xbox and what's the battery life on that going to be? Do you think?
It depends on the batteries you get. There's some good batteries out there, you know.
Yeah, I I don't think it's a big deal because I'm not interested in that. So for me, it's like, hey, if they want to try it and people want that, okay, whatever. As long as they're giving me more games or upcoming new IPs, or they're still putting games in the box. I see Microsoft as a tech company. So for me, I know that not all their focus is going to be on one box. Even if they've already mentioned a couple of times, we're still doing another console. We're not getting out of the console business. I'm like, okay, cool. Sure, whatever. But PlayStation or Sony focuses on PlayStation for that reason because that's where they make all their money.
That's
Same
right.
thing
Fox.
with Nintendo. So
That's
right
right.
now I'm just looking at Microsoft as a company, cool, good for them and everybody that wants to use all those things, but it doesn't affect me because I'm still using Xbox.
I think Fox makes a great point. If we all take a
look,
step back,
you're still if you look back, like here's the thing. I've said this all along. If you're just a person that likes Xbox, you're still going to be able to enjoy it. But it's just clear that a lot of these moves that they're making is costing people the relevancy of the actual box itself. And I think that that's proven in a lot of the sales and things. And again, you might not think sales matter, whatever. Fine. I think it does matter somewhat. And I think that Microsoft, like Google, is quick to pull the plug on stuff, even when they promise not. Like we heard, they were in it to win it with phones too, and they were in it to win it with Groove Music and the Microsoft Band. They were in it to win it with that, and Zune. They were in it to win it with that, right? Like I hold my breath every time I purchase a Microsoft movie. Right, like, oh God, please don't stop doing that. Because I was involved with Groove Music. I had 2 years of that paid up, right?
Yeah.
And they just canceled that. So yeah, I know exactly sort of what we're getting into with this kind of stuff, and I'm very skeptical. So excuse my skepticism. I realize that for the most part, things aren't going to change. If you enjoy Xbox for the foreseeable future, you're going to be able to play it on a box. There's not going to be as much of incentive, I think, for exclusive content, because Lord knows when we're going to see. Oh, I didn't even put this as a topic, but hey, I can segue like a motherfucker and talk about this initiative video. We all thought we were getting a quadruple A. That's what we kept hearing, right? Quadruple A game from the initiative. Now they're like, we're as small as an indie. we're doing small projects. Oh, what?
Yeah, that was a bit alarming. I not alarming in necessarily a negative way, because I think they're going to put out a quality game, no doubt about it. You have some intense amount of talent over there. But realistically, it was interesting because I myself, I'll tell you guys know, I'll listen to the show. I honestly think that I thought that the initiative was going to put together one hell of an MMO style.
So
game.
did I. I thought they were going to do some kind of amazing,
massive game, because I mean you've got all this talent, some of the top dogs from all the big industry leaders, and all of a sudden they're like, well, now it looks like what they're doing is they're putting together, smaller, more dedicated game. And it's too early to talk. Maybe we'll see more at E3. I don't know. But
I doubt we see anything from them this E3. I think we'll see definitely Ninja Theory. And I'm trying to think of who else we could possibly see that's from the new group.
The guys that made Outer World, what's their name?
Who the hell
Obsidian?
are they? Obsidian?
Yeah, I think we might see something from them too.
You think? Because when the guy talked, he was like, most of our people are working on Outer Worlds. We've got two other groups that just started something, and then another secret project that's pretty early on. So I would love to see something from them, though. I think that'd be great. But I actually think the closest ones for us right now is Playground Games Fable and whatever Ninja Theory is working on. The other ones, I don't really know. I'm not really sure. Like, Mooch, what would you think? I mean, guys, what would the panel think? Like, which ones are we closest to that you can fathom, right? Because if you look at it, Jez Gordon from Windows Central had a whole list of their studios and what they're working on. I mean, obviously, Forza is a topic we're going to talk about as well. They're making that one. It'll probably be a launch title. Halo Infinite, Gears, we know that's coming. But I mean, outside the new studios that they bought, it looks like the closest one we're going to get as whatever, a Microsoft exclusive or whatever the hell they're going to be called. Hold on, I got to pay the bills real quick too. Raymond says, Fox, stop making so much sense. You're starting to trigger me with your logic.
Oh shit!
So, wow, you got a fan, Fox. You've got a fan.
Thank you. Kisses.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think, Mooch? Like specifically, what do you think? Who do you think's game we're going to see this year?
Well, I mean, I think you said it yourself, right? Ninja Theory is probably the one that you're going to see first. I mean, and listen, there's nobody on the panel except for maybe Salt that liked Hellblade as much as I did. I did, but at the same time, let's keep in mind that was an indie title. I loved the effects. I loved the the story of it. And I'm not even a story. You guys know this. I'm not a story guy. I dug the story. I love the voice acting was fantastic. The way that they utilized the voices into your headset. Honestly, I don't think there's a game that has made me feel that immersed for such an indie title. That being said, they're smaller. They've had it looks like it'll be about a 3-year cycle if they're going to come out with maybe a 4-year cycle if it's next year. Except for them though, Crap. The initiative is really the next big dog I'm looking forward to because we know the Outer Worlds is coming out. That's the big baby for Obsidian. And that's going multi-plat. Yes, I know they have 4 groups, but really, let's be honest. If they have 100 people, 90% are working on the Outer Worlds. The other 10%, are working on the others. So it's still very small. The initiative's words this past week, I don't know what they were trying to say, but it was disencouraging at best. So that being said, I don't know. I would say probably, to be honest with you, Crap, to answer your question, Ninja Theory's first. And believe it or not, even though you guys are not going to agree with me, I think Compulsion Games would be number 2. And I know nobody's excited about them, but right. But think about it, Crap. If they show their piece this year and they release next year, it would be a 3-year cycle. So,
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Hold on. TLR9 says, don't worry, Crap. Microsoft will push controller fanny packs like they do their Xbox onesies. Oh man. Burn. Am I right? No, I agree. You're probably right. They're going to have some kind of thing that you carry around with you. Pack your controller, here's extra battery packs, buy Xbox branded faceplates, or I don't know, faceplates a thing still. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I agree. They'll probably push something that says Xbox or whatever on it. And I think that's fine. And I think you're Mooch. I don't know if Compulsion Games is right because according to that Jez Gordon article, they're still tied up in contracts with Gearbox and they have to put out 3 pieces of content, including some kind of sandbox mode for We Happy Few still. So they have a lot of these other obligations. That's the problem with a lot of these studios that Microsoft picked up was they're so under obligations for other Mahadi. I see you, bro. You can stop posting that in the chat. I'm not really sure that I know that I'm not like a well-known person that can help you with that, man. I wish I could, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I see you though, man. I see you. I think that's messed up. Hopefully, you guys should be able to play some games soon, man. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to play that game, but, man,
Crap, the Xbox Diplomat.
Yes, man. Well, you have to be. Look, I did a stream earlier today, right? And I was about as diplomatic as I could be with the stuff that I was talking about. But anybody else want to chime in on what game studio will we see from Microsoft? They have to show something, right? I mean, it's been 4 years since we've got any new IP announcement from Xbox.
Well, I mean, I might be wrong, Crap, and don't get me wrong. I think your point's valid, but let's be real frank here for a second. There's no way in God's green earth you're going to see anything from Playground Games. Not in the foreseeable future.
You're killing me, Mooch.
Well, what do you want me to do? I'm just right. You're not going to see. I mean, the Coalition's putting their game out this year. 343 is apparently going to be 2020, and then you've got all the that filler in between there. So realistically, if it's not Compulsion after Ninja Theory, I wouldn't know where to go. I mean, it's I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be any other company.
They're saying Rare's new IP. They're working on another multiplayer game. You don't think we could see something Fable related?
Wait, are you talking about just seeing a glimpse or playing it?
I don't know about. Well, look.
Oh no, they could just tease it.
I'm talking about the next game after Ninja Theories you'll be playing. I think is Compulsion. You're saying okay. That's what I maybe I misunderstood your question. I apologize.
I see.
If you meant just who are we going to see on stage?
Yeah,
we're going to see. You're definitely going to see Playground Games. You're going to see these. You're going to see something from Playground. Absolutely. But I mean,
Brian Baker says Space of Thieves. Is that where you're flying around in space? With they're space skeletons this time and space snakes, right?
Snakes.
I don't know no snakes. Yeah. Crossplay with your PC friends, and they won't even be hacking this time. You know what I mean? Like Recore. Oh my God, no! Why don't?
Yeah, Crappy said he wanted Recore too. I think.
No Recore. I heard that there's a bidding war between Google and Microsoft on who should get Recore sequel rights, right? Like Microsoft really wants it. Google really wants it.
You guys can laugh all you want. You put money and the right talent behind Recore, you've got yourself the next futuristic kind of like Tomb Raider. That is a great story, great protagonist. I think Joel's she's one of the best like new characters I've seen that wasn't like put on people to like. She's just great, and the environment needs to be worked on. The art needs to be worked on. Put a little bit more story into it. Give her characters, you know, the dog and the robot and everything. Give them more abilities. And let me tell you something: the jumping and the firing mechanics are spot on. That's an absolute diamond in the rough that people are kind of like. Listen, Recore was a mess, an absolute mess. But
I actually,
Recore,
I had
with the right
fun with
money,
it for the first. Oh, Lucky Tales 2. Jeez, come on, guys. Come on,
My
man.
family want to make some games.
You guys are killing me. I could not deal with this crap. Like, look, here's the thing. I think Gears 5 is going to be fire. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be, it's going to be an amazing game. I'm not like, for some reason, I'm really drawn to this Days Gone game. I'm glad I pre-ordered it, Mooch, the collector's edition. You know, like the more I see in this game, the more I'm like, that's my type of jam. You know, like nowadays, I don't know. It's like I get a few minutes here and there for some. I don't know,
Crappy. I don't want to hear you bitching about zombies again.
Yeah, you know, they're not zombies, Foxy. That's the thing, right? According to them,
they're definitely zombies.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, no, they're called freakers, Mooch. Get it right. So
anyway, whatever you want.
People are saying Recore was amazing. Here's the thing: I played Recore. I liked it at first, right? Then it got to the point. Yeah, it got to the point where you had to backtrack all over for cores, and I hated it. They updated it, and I guess they took that out. But by then, it was too late, in my opinion. Right? Like, I don't want to go back to Recore.
But you know what? Like Mooch was saying about Recore, Delilah said that back in the day when we used to do Ladies' Night. She said that almost exact thing. And I saw potential there, but I got bored of it. So if they do, for some reason, do too, I would like it to be way better than what it was, for sure.
Yeah, like, look, I see Mooch, you're saying there's potential. Foxy, you're saying there's potential, right? Like, I thought it was a potential for some good story as well. I just thought that they really sort of didn't execute it well. Hey, we got like almost 700 watching. Please hit the like button, share it out. I would really appreciate it. Look, we're all passionate here. I wish some of you guys would just keep things a little bit not so, don't be assholes to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can have a discussion without being jerks to each other.
I agree. Guys in the chat, honestly, we've had
like, Jesus, come on.
No, there's people in the chat have even saying, Mooch, it's not. Listen, guys, we can all have a great conversation and kind of listen. There's definitely different takes on what's going on, and here we are in 2019 when we're looking at basically the end of 2020 when these new consoles are coming out. And honestly, I know that you guys in the chat. I'm going to speak for the chat here. I'm going to speak for myself too. You guys, I think we all feel the same way. Is that there's so many rumors, expectations, thoughts, and wants and desires that are going to be coming up in the next 12 to 18 months that I think it makes all of us kind of like our emotions might take us in one direction or the other. And I think realistically, gaming's about to make a major change, you know? And, this is coming from someone, in 2013 I was so, Xbox centric. And I think that now gaming has taken such a global, such a larger, broader approach that like we can't just be so tunnel driven. I really do think you have to kind of open your mind. But like I said, at the same time, I like to look at it as this. If you're a Sony fan, you definitely want your PS5 to deliver. If you're an Xbox fan, you want your Anaconda to deliver. But
they will.
Time, right. But they will. But the thing is, you want to see your company stand behind the boxes as well as the technology.
Yeah, like here's the thing. I'm a passionate guy. I feel very passionate about the way I feel. I'm never gonna hide that passion. I don't care if everybody disagrees with me or not. I said this earlier when I streamed. There's a lot of people out there that are super happy with the direction that this is, and I think that they're all gonna stream at some point. And I think that but I think it's gonna be back burner stuff for Sony for the next 15, 20 years. I don't really think that this is a viable thing anytime super soon. So don't forget about us. That's all that's my point is, don't forget about us old peasants over here. Hey, by the way, pay for your campaign on Halo Reach. Okay, I guess, we bought this shit that didn't work for years. You decided to fix it up when you started porting it to PC so that they could play it. And then, make us buy the campaign for this thing again. Great. Like, okay, fine. I guess that's how it is. I'll know more about Microsoft's intentions this E3. There's only so much you can really cover wait till E3. They're doing E3. I'm excited about what they're going to offer. I like the idea of more powerful hardware. I like the idea of getting some content that, to draw me in as well.
Is this make or break for them this year?
Well, it depends. For some people, I'm sure it will be. For me, I always usually get everything. Like I own all the consoles and I pretty much always do and probably always will. I don't plan on buying into what Google's selling. I couldn't care less about that crap. I feel like there's really only room for the three, and I like that Microsoft and Sony are similar. What separates them are the games, right? Microsoft does more multiplayer stuff. Sony does more single player. I love that because then my bases are covered, right? Because I don't think Microsoft could make a single player game to save their life, and I don't think Sony could make a multiplayer game to save their life. So there's that. It's a good yin and yang, right? They do powerful hardware. Both can play multiplats pretty good. But there's the differences, and I like that. When you look at Nintendo, they're doing their own wacky, crazy thing with Mario and whoever else. So I like that too.
Cardboard VR.
Cardboard VR, exactly. Like who would have thought, right? So I do like the fact that we have these differences, and I think that's very important. Algorithm says, don't you think that that's the problem with the Xbox Games Panel? Ever so-called exclusive Microsoft drops always has potential to be better, but trash at launch.
I don't agree with that with all their games, but I mean, yeah, I see what you're trying to say.
I would say, well, he doubled. Do you guys see he doubled that question? So he really wants the answer. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to Xbox exclusives, it seems like, especially this generation, if it isn't Halo, Gears, or Forza, they didn't put any money into it or any time or advertising or anything.
Come on.
Quantum Break, I like Quantum Break, but have you played that game lately, Foxy? Like, there's and I
played it when it came out. I bought it day one.
Too. I did too, man. Well, I canceled my pre-order.
They put a lot of. Oh my god, we're not gonna get into that. But they put a lot of money into it, even if it didn't work out, like the TV show and all that jazz.
Well, I mean, the reason why that game didn't work out, and let's be real, is 720p and the TV show, right? People were still caught up in that whole aspect of, hey, Xbox sucks because they're pushing TV, and here's a game with them pushing TV. Now, I heard from a rumor, and I'll give this person 100% credit if they come out and do an article on this or a video on it. Shit. Anyway, yeah, so I will totally give this person credit that told me this, that Microsoft is possibly doing another Quantum Break, and it might not be Remedy Games doing it. So, and it would possibly be going a slightly different route without a TV show, but more helped along with cutscenes because they really like the world and they own the IP and they like it. So if that person wants credit for it and it happens to be true, I'll come on here and say, hey, it was that person that actually F you, LG Nemesis. I never said it could be a girl. You don't know. It could be anybody. I'm not saying anything.
Wow.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyway, if they make that, I would love that because I thought that IP had potential, but I also thought Rise had potential. I also thought Microsoft should have locked down Titanfall because that game really would have been amazing to see grow on the Xbox platform and
Sunset.
Sunset Overdrive.
Those are beloved games, but yet at the time, or for whatever reason, because everybody hated Xbox, they didn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
But obviously, everybody knows that they would. Well, not everybody. A lot of people would like to see them have another sequel.
Exactly. I would love that too. What about you, Mooch? What do you think? Are you in the chat?
No,
Mooch?
I'm here, but you guys have you had like 7 different conversations going on. What's the conversation? I don't know.
What's well,
you guys are all over the place. I don't. What's the question?
Well, we're just talking about the differences.
I like sneakers. I like pants. I don't know. I'm kind of hungry. I'm not really sure what day it is. So, Saturdays I take a walk. Mooch, what do you think about those things? Which one?
Well, I mean, any of that stuff. I mean, what do you think about what Microsoft is doing in terms of their games? Like, do you think that they didn't invest the proper time and money into most of their games if it wasn't Halo, Gears, or Forza? Well, here's the thing, Foxy. You're right. Quantum Break, they did invest that stuff into. But if you look at it, that was they announced that at the Xbox One kickoff, right?
Yep.
So they realistically, that was at that time where they're like $1 billion, right? So we're investing $1 billion in Xbox games. And again, outside of Sunset Overdrive, which I think got a 82 or 83 meta, and some of this other stuff, I think that they realistically kind of gave up on some of these games. So when I call this the generation or the Xbox that Microsoft forgot, I feel like that's 100% accurate. And what do you feel about that, Mooch?
You feel like this is the Xbox that they forgot?
Yeah, when it comes to their games,
somebody in the chat was like, Mooch wasn't listening. I'm like, I was listening to every word. There was no question. It was, you know what I mean? It was like, it
was a broad statement. Do you think they failed to deliver proper money, funding, backing?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
We're going back to Halo, Gears, or Forza.
Well, I think they neglected some of those, to be honest with you. I mean, Forza 5 was, questionable with the, they had the paper audience out there cheering on your cars that went over the finish line. Then you had Halo 5, which you kind of, had 2 levels where you just walked through it with very little story or nobody gave a shit. And I mean, it was what it was. And then Fable, they dropped the ball. This is an interesting crossroads. And I've said this a number of times. I'll say it again. Xbox guys is everyone's like, oh, Phil's a savior. Not really. What it was that Satya, he's the chief, he's the CEO. He's got to they've got to do what they want. And I heard this. He said this is what you're gonna do. Yeah, if you want Xbox to be a thing. And Phil was like, we can do that.
So we know something. I hate doing this because people figure it out. So this is a person that we podcast with as well, Mooch, who knows a lot about Forza games and knows for a fact that Phil Hartman, who's like the head of Turn 10 Studios, was absolutely against putting Forza on a mobile device. But yet we're getting this rumor of this Forza Street coming out on mobile devices.
Well, that's the thing. It's come from the top down.
Yeah, so somebody right there is saying that. So, okay, Sir X-Man says, Mooch, I'd like your vocal opinion on driving dangerously. Please, I want to hear if it's okay and if it's okay with crap in the panel.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Turn 10 was probably against it, and we know certain folks that are in the Forza world, and that's just not their bag. But at the same time, I would say that, realistically speaking, it's here's the thing, crap. We knew this. There was rumors back in 2013, 2014. Remember, you even had, I think was it Bill Gates they asked? There was an interview with Bill Gates, I think, and they said, was the Xbox division always safe? And he came up with this very, very politically correct answer that wasn't necessarily warming to Xbox fans.
He says he would have spun it off or whatever.
Right.
Or whatever, yeah.
Exactly. And I think Satya said, listen, we are taking Windows 10, we're redoing this, we're redoing that. We want Windows everywhere. And realistically, from a CEO's position, I totally agree. Like, if I was vice president, I would be like, I agree. This is what we have to do to move forward. So I don't disagree with Microsoft's procedure. But like you said, there's people that didn't want to do certain things that are being forced, or certain people that love this idea and can't wait to get on board. This is a very interesting time for developers, for people that sold physical hardware, wink, wink, at GameStop, Walmart, Target, you guys all out there, Toys R Us that are hurting in physical sales, they went under. This is a tough time. This is a transition. We're going from physical media to digital media. We're going from games played in one place to games being played everywhere. That's expanding the business in certain horizons, and it's reducing them in others. So, to be honest with you, it like I said, Phil's not the savior of Xbox. Yeah. Satya said, and this is, listen, this is not anyone told me this. This is my hypothesis, and it's my right to say it. I just feel like, like Satya and the panel and the investors said this is the way things are going. Salty said it earlier. He was right. This is the way the future is going. And either get on board with it, or we'll very gladly take this little package we have and the money that it is worth, because Xbox is worth something, and we'll launch it to somebody else. And I think that they said, listen, why would we want to launch it to somebody else when we have all the services in-house? Let's do this bad boy. Yeah. And Phil was on
especially
board.
Like he pitched the whole cloud thing. I think that's probably why we see less of a focus on Xbox itself. I want to pay some bills. Gotham guy says, if Sony fans was bashing on Quantum Break, then they were cheering like crazy over the game Control. They basically looked the same. I agree. I think that was probably, maybe they were starting on part 2. Do you think that's possible?
Possibly.
And I mean, the characters look the same. I'm sure they will. I'm sure it'll be.
I find it funny how many people are like, I can't wait for Control.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Quantum Break, fuck that shit. And it's like, what happened?
Who cares about Quantum Break? Exactly. Exactly. Same damn thing. Rock Dog 31 says Xbox One is the Xbox that Danny D destroyed, and we're still paying for it. Well, it never recovered, You know
what, Rock? Rock, great point. Let me say something to Rock. First of all, Rock Dog is a hardcore fan. Let me give him more credit.
He's a PlayStation guy, right?
No, PlayStation guy, Rock Dog? Are you kidding me? I would elect Rock Dog as the next president of Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was one. Rock, he was like, he hated my opinions on.
Rock,
okay, gotcha.
Rock, the thing is this. I think that, you know what? Your point is valid, but I'm not going to blame Donnie D. You can't blame one man, or you can't give one. Like the same thing I just said about Phil, you can't say about Donnie D. You can't blame one man or give one man the credit when you have an organization that has thousands, maybe 100,000, I don't know, 50,000, 60,000 employees. So my point being is that this was an interesting race this generation. This was not, I said it on MNC, I'll say it again. This is not like, okay, last generation with the 360 or the PS3. This is a situation where you have a console that is going to allow backward and possible some forward. Let's just stay with backward because you guys can deal with that for the conversation. Backward compatibility. So you have people that have 100 million people that have a PS4 right now that invested maybe 50 games, 100 games, 200 games, 300 games. I'm not talking about exclusives. I'm talking about library, your library of games. Now you have a PS5 and an Xbox Scarlet coming out. If you're a PS5 guy, even if the Xbox Scarlet has a little bit more juice in it, and maybe for the hardcore, that's enough. But if you already have 300 games on the PS4, you're buying a PS5 so you can bring your games with you.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Rock? I can't really, Donnie D's definitely part of the problem, but was he the whole problem? Not fair. Philly said he sat on the board when
he was there. He never
raised
his hand or spoke up. There was a lot of people there, and a lot of them aren't there anymore.
It's not just Donnie's fault,
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that statement. I know Donnie gets a lot of crap, and probably rightfully so.
Well, he's the captain of the ship. You always get the blame when you're the captain of the ship. I don't blame the blame for being there. I don't blame Rock for saying that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also don't think that I don't think it's all his fault.
I agree. Mooch, panel. I want to move on a little bit to the Inside Xbox and cover this a little bit more in whole. Again, I get it. People are going to go, crap. Well, why you keep watching it? Here's the thing. We do podcasts, right? Well, I mean, we all do. I do three of them a week. I do videos. You have to watch this stuff, right? For now on, I might just catch highlights or lowlights. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They could have literally just did an Xbox Wire press release with the stuff they announced here. It was like State of Decay 2, Master Chief, which had been rumored already for weeks. We had Brad Sams on here said it was going to happen too. I mean, like the stuff that they announced did not need an Inside Xbox. It seemed a little bit pandery to me. A lot of people kind of know what I'm talking about there. Realistically, what Microsoft is doing is selling us Xbox and they want to have everybody have the same way of thinking in life as they do. And I'm not really about that. I don't like to be sold the side of political nonsense with my box, right? Like, let me play some great games, talk about some video games. I don't need a political statement. I don't need be told that I should think a certain way or I should hate myself because I like a certain type of game or protect, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about and you got to kind of watch what you say, but because people get really offended. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, I'm not really like, show me some great games, talk about some hardcore stuff. And the thing is, I look at this, I know people go, oh, well, that's not really intended for hardcore. I think that it is intended for hardcore, right? Like, who else is going to know about this show?
Right.
So I don't really get when people say that, right? It's intended for us. It's for us, right? They talk about stuff like xCloud. So like our cat, like, I don't know, like to me, only the hardcore would know about this. It's on Mixer. They don't advertise it anywhere except on Twitter and the Xbox dashboard. That's pretty much as hardcore as it gets. So like, I just thought this was probably the worst one. You got people just, I don't know. I just imagine that's people's workplace at Microsoft, sitting around in a onesie, eating pizza and Twizzlers and doing, I don't know. Mooch, tell me what you think, please. Just save me here.
Well, no, I hear you. To be honest with you, I actually wanted to hear what Fox had to say because Fox tuned in kind of excited. And I want to hear, like, I knew, jokes aside, all jokes aside, inside, people were like, oh, Mooch, you ready for Inside PC? So, like, people were saying that to me all day long. I mean, I would almost turn it over. I have my opinion, but I want to hear Foxy. What do you think that it was? How did you feel walking into it since you were kind of so excited about it? What was the before and after?
I wasn't really excited about it when I saw like some of the highlights of the things they were going to talk about. So I was like, oh, okay. So they don't really have anything that I particularly want to listen to, but I always watch the show. So I think it's interesting. Now, if we're going to talk about the content, because actually that's the important part, the content that they were showing, the stuff they were talking about, it was probably, the worst show inside Xbox they've had. I didn't care for anything there. They didn't present it properly, I don't think. But it still felt like an interesting show because I had that representation there. So I did like that they were talking about different kind of gamers, not the typical, I guess, nerd culture or geeky like gamers, male gamers that everybody's used to. So I thought it was nice in that aspect, but when it comes to the content, which is why I watched the show, it was lacking. And it was probably the worst show.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, but why was it? Is it that it was lacking content?
Yeah, I didn't see anything on there that I cared for. I mean, even though it's cool to have Halo Reach or whatever, like, I didn't see anything else that stood out to me.
I mean, we've come to conclusions over and over again, crap, that the Xbox inside Xbox was going to be something like special, and it brought something, and even some of the corny ones that we didn't care for, I thought did a really good job of still focusing on Xbox. This was the first one that I saw that, like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like an inside Xbox. I mean, it just, I don't know. Maybe it was the whole, like, it seemed like they kind of dialed this one in.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, damn.
Didn't watch it. Didn't care to watch it.
You didn't miss much, my friend.
Yeah, and that's typically what I've come to, deal with now with this show is like when it's on, and I've, in the past, like the first couple of episodes, I hyped myself up a little bit too much more than I needed to, and then was let down. So I was like, you know what? I'm not watching shit after.
To me, I think a lot of us did that. No, I was just going to chime in with what you said, and we're all hyped in the beginning, but once we realized first 2 or 3 shows, we were like, oh, we see what this is. And some people left. So, I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, and then most of the time, like, you already know what's coming. So it's like, there's a game coming out and do an inside Xbox the day before release, then that's probably what they're going to talk about. So I'm just, you get used to it after a certain amount of time, just listening to the same crap over and over again. And most of us, we're watching this stuff on Twitter, and we're in the gaming community to the point where we know what's coming out anyway. So there's no surprises for us. So,
yeah, you could even say that sometimes you get more content from the podcast scene in a way than you do with these shows, which is just entertainment. And I forgot one important thing. The best part of that episode, though, I didn't see Jeff, so that was cool.
There was no Jeff, but I
thought Jeff was the one dressed up as Master Chief when he came to take the pizza away.
I miss AC. Like, wow. I mean, like Larry, where like the whole crew there. Like, I kind of miss it. I thought the best thing about this episode was that it ended quickly. Right?
Yeah, it was only like an hour, right?
It was an hour.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that they even got that out. Like, what was the was there any big announcements that you guys can think of that? Guess what's going to go to Game Pass, guys? Minecraft for the 2 people that don't own that game. Yay!
Was it just me, or did it seem like a ghost release for this show? Like, I don't remember hearing anything about it until like maybe.
We thought maybe it'd be a different kind of show or whatever, because I realized the closer it gets to E3, the less they're going to talk about, because hopefully they're saved the big stuff for E3. I get it, but when your big news is Master Chief Collection for PC and Steam, and Reach, I thought was cool, but again, kind of iffy. I mean, how do you guys feel about having to pay for the campaign?
Yeah, that's kind
unless
of
you have Game Pass, because then you get it for free. I mean, it's included.
I have Game Pass, and pardon me, I bought a lot of Game Pass with the deal that came up last E3, but I don't think it's right.
How many people actually play this?
I'm gonna play it.
I'll play it.
Like
but
PC
again,
guys,
PC. I don't think you're gonna get a lot of people on PC, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think like most stuff. Like, remember when Quantum Break released on Steam and Cuphead released? Like, I think Cuphead was kind of a success on Steam.
Oh yeah, that one blew up for sure.
It did over 1 million or whatever. I don't know that. Like, PC is a weird. I don't know. Like, Predator might be the best person to ask this, because the way I understand PC gaming is, people stick to a certain type of things, like, I guess, and something comes along and they'll play it for a little while and then they go back to the old things. Is that how it is, Pred? Like, you might know, since you actually play some PC a little bit more. than
I
I
dabble
think
in it,
anybody.
but I primarily play on Xbox. But I think my question is more stemmed around the fact that the game is so old, and I know it never came. Most of those games never came on PC, but I'm just curious to see how many people are going to actually get into it and stay in it, like you're saying, crap. Like initially, I think it'll be fine, but after that, like I don't know if it's going to be relevant in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, I would
PC?
say
Let's go back to fucking Fortnite or something.
yeah, I mean, like that's the thing that I was thinking too, right? Like, I don't think that this stuff is going to be okay. So Mad Max says 12,000 to 15,000 PC fans will play the Master Chief Collection. That was the last current fan base for Halo 3 Custom. So, Hot Sauce 99 Trujillo says, "Crap, what's your advice for any console to succeed?" I think in life, in general, you have to offer something that you can't get anywhere else, right? I am, in life, I feel like what's mine isn't yours. All this, you know what I mean? Like if you earn something, it's yours. Like I'm not going to go out there and pimp other dog trainers or say, hey, you should definitely try them. Like I'm going to sell you on my services. If you don't, you can go do your own research or whatever, but that's just the way I feel. McDonald's isn't anti-consumer because you can't get a Big Mac at a Burger King. Right, like let's just be honest. Like Mooch, am I right? Like yeah. I think it's ridiculous to think that people are bad because they want exclusives, or that it's wrong to want some kind of content to back up your expensive purchase, especially when most of us, like I know I have. God, how many Xboxes have I? Like, there's 5 this generation, right? Yeah. Like it's not even. It's just realistic to say that we spend all this money on this stuff, and to the point where they're not even talking about the Xbox hardly anymore, right? It's like, and people are just fine with it. Like you see, like that insider, he's like, well, we should maybe just start looking at it as Microsoft Originals or something. Like what? Like Sega Originals? Like Sega doesn't even make consoles anymore. So if Sega made consoles right now, decided to start up and make consoles again, but still kept their games on everything, who the hell would buy their consoles? Nobody. Yeah, because you can still play their games on everything else.
That's the thing, and that's where I you scratch your head and you say, you wonder why they're going in that direction. I completely get what they're doing. I can see it. I sit back, I see it very clear. There's nothing confusing at all about it. But you wonder why, when Sony releases something, they kind of say, hey, here's 6.5 update. By the way, you can do this now. And now back to our console. You're like, all right. So it's like, that's fine. I mean, I built the rig back in October.
You built it sarcastically.
I definitely built it sarcastically, and actually, to be honest with you, it's like I hate turning. It's true. I hate turning on my Xbox before a podcast because I want to game and I want to hang out. So what do I do? So now the only time I use the PC, I'm using it when I'm actually playing like 30 minutes before a podcast, and then I shut it down when I'm podcasting. And I was playing a little Crackdown 3. I was having fun with that. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, here I am. I've got my office, chair. I've got my rig. I can play all the games that Microsoft has. And I'm like, man, you know what I really want to do? I want to play Xbox on my couch. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, for me, that's a me problem. This is a me problem, not a you guys. That's just the way I feel. So when you have such a clientele out there that's spending all this money on consoles and this dedicated box and this and that, I just wonder why Microsoft is kind of pushing so hard. And you know what the thing is, guys? I said this a couple times and nobody wants to hear me. It's okay. I'll just say it again, and maybe I'm only talking to myself. Microsoft, I think, is completely compliant. I think Microsoft is completely content with knowing that they cannot win the hardware space. I think they know they can't win it. I think somebody in a boardroom said, stop it. Just stop it. We're not going to win that. Our strength is software. Our strength is, of course, across multiple devices. And this is how we're going to roll. And that's
look, here's the thing, which I brought this up earlier, and I think
focusing on the hardware, they are focusing on games. Period.
Yeah, well, let me say this much, right? Because I mentioned this earlier. Microsoft, remember, Phil was like, "We're in it to win it." He actually said that. You can go back and look at his quote, right?
That was 2014, right, Crap?
Yeah, exactly. So there was a point where they wanted to, and Sony were just like not having it. They were
in
just
the words of SpongeBob. 3 weeks later. It was over. That was it. Yes. Right? After 3 weeks went by, he was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said that." Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was it. After that, it was done.
But look, and here's the funny part, right? Like that's fine. I feel like Microsoft was like, we got to do something to salvage this, so let's go ahead and do Play Anywhere. And I remember at the time, Mooch, because I have a history. Here's the thing. I have a history of overreacting one way to these announcements, whereas a lot of Xbox fans. Yes, me. I admit it, right? Here. Yes, I'm me. And I'll apologize and say I was wrong if something comes like Game Pass, right? Like it's not for me, but I do admit that that's a quality thing, and there's a certain person that can use that service, right? But when it comes to Play Anywhere, I flip my lid at that, right? Oh, I don't want it. Mooch goes, crap. Nothing's gonna change. People probably aren't even gonna use this. It's like, who cares, right? Mooch has a way of doing that. He tells, who cares, right? Nobody's gonna use it. Yeah, it's a never was crap. Nobody's gonna care, and it was true, right? Nobody cared. Very like Microsoft even admitted it. There was no crossover. If you bought the game on PC, you played it on PC. If you bought it on Xbox, you played it on Xbox. Less than 1% did both. None of the big third-party publishers were on board with this to begin with. It's still, there's been rumblings that they might not even do this. Like, look, if you have Master Chief Collection on Xbox. I don't even think that's Play Anywhere with Windows, right? So if they're not doing it with their own stuff anymore, it just goes to show you that it wasn't exactly the thing that they thought it'd be. But I heard, a lot of Xbox fans, the ones that are the shiny happy people, go, we're going to get so many games from this. They're going to make so much money. It's going to be crazy. More people are going to play Xbox games than ever, and blah, blah, blah. And we went through the largest drought Xbox has ever had for games, right? Like, it did nothing. So... it's hard to really say what these kind of announcements do. You know what I mean? And so for me personally, when you see stuff like this, it's like, I realize streaming, blah, 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 is the future. It's not my future personally. It's not in my future. I don't think it's anybody's main way to game in anybody's future for the next 10 years, at least. Right. So I'm more interested in what you can do for me right now, because we've invested all this money into these boxes and you've given us very little to really sustain us in terms of stuff you can't get elsewhere, new IP, innovative IP. And even though Game Pass is a good thing, you haven't really put anything in there that's a banger. Yeah, I mean, Forza Horizon 4 and Gears, of course. But other than that, the games that are in there kind of belong in there, in my opinion. State of Decay 2. See, I love Sea of Thieves, man. I'll never stop loving that game, but it belongs right where it is, Mooch.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is what it is. I mean, like you said, they have a lot to prove this upcoming generation. Microsoft dialed. I had a great conversation. Shout out to JKB. JKB and I had a conversation about a year ago now, and he said, "Listen, from what I'm hearing, Microsoft is completely letting this generation go." And they're focusing on next, right? I mean, a lot of people heard that. Now everyone's like,
Rand,
right? But I mean, this is a year and change.
I don't want to take anything from that, because Rand was saying that they gave up on the generation years ago. So
right, Rand did too. Yeah,
he might have been one of the first. So shout out to that guy. He was probably one of the first to actually say that.
I agree. Rand definitely said it around the same time frame. But I mean, the point of the matter is that I just think that we have to wait and see what's going on for next generation. At the same time, if I was to sit down and I had a closed room chat with Phil and the executives, I would just say, listen, guys, everything you're doing, don't change it. I like what you're doing. But at the same time, why neglect this other group of people you haven't talked about in a while? Or give them a nugget, like with Halo Reach. For all you Xbox owners that bought MCC and it didn't work, another little nugget for you guys. Everybody just...
Yeah.
People light a match, they pass out in the stands. That's what you do. Because realistically speaking, how many people are excited to come home in next month, a month or two, and pay, whatever it is for Halo Reach? Nobody wants to pay for that. They bought Master Chief Collection. And that's part of the, even though it's not Master Chief, I get it. It's part of the collection. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Everybody was asking for Reach the minute MCC came out. So my point being, in short, is that it seems like Xbox is not paying attention to everybody. They are looking forward, and that's great. But they need to look at the present and the future. Leave the past alone, I get it. But look at the present and the future. They're just looking at the future.
Yeah. You know what? You're not wrong. And I think that's the point that I was trying to make. It's like, I know what's coming, but cater to me a little bit while we're still in the now.
We are in the now, right? People are spending money tomorrow, unless I checked. Like,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
I can't go to Subway and like, can I get a foot-long sub? Free! Get the hell out of here! No shit! No, Mooch, we're gonna charge you later. All right, well, I'll take two then.
Exactly. Like we put our faith into this console. And again, when I say Xbox One is the console that Microsoft forgot, that's what I mean by it, right? Like at some point they stopped investing in making the games, and now the games that are going to come out for the most part are going to be on their next console, even past the X. Yeah. Right? I just would have loved to seen some stuff that take full advantage of that console, right? Of the console that we spent another $500 on. You know, and then in 3 years we spend another $500 on the next one, right, Mooch? Absolutely. I mean, isn't that what they want? Isn't that what we're gonna do?
Well, I mean, we think they're gonna come out with a mid-gen console, but are they? I don't know.
Well, supposedly
they might not.
Yeah, supposedly they might have. They're already working on not only the Xbox Scarlet group of consoles, but the one after that too, which could possibly be mid-gen stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, you know.
Well, what about the fact that what was that thing you were talking about there, Crap? You did a video on it earlier in the week there where you were discussing the PlayStation 5 possibly having 12 to 14 teraflops. And I mean, like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, there's rumors flying everywhere, folks. You know, take it with a grain of salt, please.
I'm gonna cover that. I want to pay some bills. AK Massifier says, "Love the show, guys. Crap, thanks for being a voice." Not the voice, so don't get triggered, people. A voice for the Xbox console gamer. Seems Phil's abandoned us in favor of PC and mobile market exclusives for them, but not for us. I will not cheer that. Hey, you're not wrong for wanting exclusives, man. Don't let anybody make you feel bad that you want something that you can only get on that platform that you're buying. Everything has, like, if everything that's on Netflix was also on Hulu, you would not need Netflix, right? It would make it less relevant. Same thing with Xbox, same thing with everything, right? That's the way the world works. You make something, you have something that you can do. You don't do it for free, and you don't put it everywhere. When I started this whole podcasting scene, I did get some very good advice, and that advice was, crap, don't put your content out for free on everybody else's channel all the time. Then people will have no reason to check your stuff out, right? Which is true, right? So, like, you've got to. I think there's a good medium between guesting and doing that and being a regular type of thing, and then just being everywhere all the time. Which, wouldn't you agree with that? Like, if we were on 7 days a week, you know, that might kind of lose something, right?
I wouldn't mind Mooch everywhere 7 days a week. I'm trying to get on NBC, ABC, CBS, but they're not returning my calls. So.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, you know, I think that's going to be something that we have to kind of keep a lookout for in the future. But the PS5 dev kit, the rumor was 14.2 teraflops, 2 terabyte hard drive, 24 gigs of memory. Like Foxy, Predator, what do you guys think? I mean, that sounds pretty damn impressive. Would that get you guys on board for a PlayStation 5? Well, but I will point out that dev kits usually double the memory. So the actual rumor for this is, hold on, I'll pull this up because I have the paper here. It would be 24 gigs, 20 gigs of GDDR6, and then 4 gigs of DDR4 reserved for the OS. So you could actually probably take that as 10 gigs of GDDR6 for the actual console and 4 reserved for OS. So 14 gigs total. What do you guys think about that? I mean, that sounds pretty damn powerful to me. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I get it eventually, but not at launch. My ecosystem with Xbox is too massive right now, and I have a PlayStation, and I only play it for the exclusives. And I'm not even playing those at you know, whatever the highest resolution. I have the Slim. I don't even have the Pro. So the power on my secondary console doesn't really matter to me. I'm just gonna play it for the exclusives and the experience of the game. So my game on Xbox, I game on PC, and my third is the exclusives on PlayStation and Nintendo. So,
yeah.
Hey, what about you, Foxy?
Yeah, I agree with that. Because since I don't even have a PlayStation, I just use my brother's. I just mooch off of there. So
good for you, Fox.
So I think it depends on the games. Like, if they have a lot of games that I'm looking forward to. If I have a reason to buy the box, then yeah, I can definitely see myself picking that up. But if it's just, I don't know, 1 or 2 games, you know, every couple of years or whatever, like it is right now with their exclusives, then I don't need to buy the system. I'll probably mooch it again.
Oh, yeah, so
Wow.
you're saying you might mooch it. Interesting stuff. For me personally, I'm not sure that I would. Actually, I might love to actually mooch something, but I'm like one of those people that likes those different types of gadgets and the whole tech and stuff like that. So I actually do like that aspect of it, which I didn't mooch. Remember, I was against it, right? Like, I just wanted an Xbox. Why are they going to sell me another one and then another? And then I couldn't get the S fast enough, and then I couldn't get the X fast enough. You know what I mean? So, and then of course I'm the guy that buys 2 Elite controllers, although one of them kind of was free because of Xbox rewards. If you guys aren't signed up for that, I would definitely say, sign up for that as well. So I don't know if you guys follow the Xbox Reddit or not, but there's a lot of interesting discussions that go on there. Now, I never post. I don't have an account there, but there was one about Halo Master Chief Collection on PC, and this was what this person says. It's like, it's great that Master Chief Collection will be on PC. I want to make this clear. However, being an Xbox fan since I had my first console, I feel as if this is going to hurt the Xbox in its future. Microsoft is allowing its games to be played on PC in addition to Xbox. Do you feel as if they're moving away from the Xbox and put it in the back seat? Thoughts about this? And so one of the ones that I really thought was interesting was they're not moving away from Xbox. This was a comment. Xbox is just moving away from console. So, I mean, I found that, these types of threads kind of blow up and stuff like that. But it's interesting because I like to follow these type of threads, and I follow the reset era threads and stuff like that. Reason being is I just like to see how people sort of where their mindset is with this stuff, because I know it's like so many people just go, oh, well, it's only fanboys that think this way. Like, just throwing that label blindly at people because they feel a different way than you, I feel is kind of ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, again, I consider myself a fanboy for sure, but I still feel like, there should be something of a draw for us Xbox console owners. And it does feel like we're back burner completely. And I would love for them to give us something. You know what I mean? Like, we've heard different spiels from Phil and company, and I'm just saying, like, personally, I would love something specifically, that really sort of caters to us or makes us feel appreciated or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, again, and I said this at a podcast, and one time I got people message me and they go, "Man, crap, that really hit me hard when you said that." It seems like, and they're all companies, mind you, but it does seem like fans respect and really appreciate Sony and Nintendo because they know Sony and Nintendo are going to deliver something quality oftentimes. And with Microsoft, they've delivered some quality stuff, but I think that at this particular point, when you're 6 years, thank you, Fred, when you're 6 years into a generation and you haven't hit that stride, like, look, you got to hit that stride at some point. Look, the Switch is 2 years old now, and they're coming out with bangers that are fire. They're really good really good games, right? Polished and all that kind of stuff. And you look at PlayStation, and their last few games are super polished and really good games. Detroit, God of War, Spider-Man. They're going to get Days Gone. I guess Shenmue 3, that remains to be seen how well that'll hold up. But, they get some genuinely polished games. I have zero doubts that Last of Us 2, even though it's not my bag, is going to be a super polished game that's going to probably win. Whenever that comes out, Mooch, that's going to win Game of the Year.
Absolutely. Don't put anything up against it.
It is, right? Like, Sony's have another Game of the Year right there. When Death Stranding comes out, people are going to fawn all over that. We don't know what it is, but it's Kojima, so that's going to win some awards, Like, that's the way it's going to be. And, and I think that that's really just how sort of it is. And Microsoft needs to show us gamers that they can put out the quality content that these other console makers can, right? Because, look, Zelda, I don't even know who the hell develops those games anymore, but they constantly score 98 Metacritic.
Yeah.
Right? And same like God of War. These games are scoring so well. And I know Metacritic isn't the be-all, end-all, but I think that it's very important to get a game that's a critical success as well, because that gets people interested. That gets people talking. Sir X-Man says, crap, don't forget Sony and 2K. Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Say goodbye to Salty. I guess this is going to be his last podcast. He just, he's not going to be around. He's busy, life issue, not problems, but, his, family and stuff like that. So we wish him really well, man. He always put in a good job around here. Always did a good thing, man. And there's no issues there. And I wish him well with his show and stuff like that. He does his own show on Thursdays and things like that.
Salty does great content, great reviews.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Salty's channel. He's awesome. Awesome.
Gonna miss him here for sure, man. But we really do appreciate you being here for this amount of time and giving your opinion, man. Even it's always fun because Salty would always disagree with Mooch for the most part. You know what I mean? And that
the
was
Mooch
always
and
kind
Salty
of fun.
rants. You can't beat those rants.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the best 2 rants. I got news for you.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Hold on. Let's see here. Somebody says, call me crazy, but I didn't like The Last of Us, Buck Roger. I agree. I didn't like it either. What can I say, right? Like, here's the thing. Some of these Sony games like that, they'll try to grip you at that beginning. And I agree. The beginning of that game was really good. And then, find 4 bullets to kill 8 zombies, throw a bottle, throw a rock, help her across a river on that board, help her again across the river on a board. The clunky controls, avoid the clicker, throw a bottle, throw a rock. It got very monotonous to me. I gave up towards the end. I literally no trophy. I know that's a stupid thing to be concerned about, but like no trophies, right? Like almost beat the game, and I guess like there's like I had 0 trophies. Like that's unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I get that people like that game, but I feel like a lot of times something will get so critically acclaimed that if you don't like it, then you kind of get chastised for it. So people just are, oh, it's great. It's great. I can see why people think it's good, but I think that the story was average and I think that the gameplay was bad. So that's just my 2 cents.
The thing about The Last of Us is that, and I assume that's what you're talking about, right, Crap?
Yeah. I know you love that game. So
the thing about it is this is you got to look at it. You guys always preach about story. And I'm not a big let's get into the story thing. Somebody said to me, and I'll give myself a shameless plug. I was streaming last night, Crap, and in the Division, I couldn't hear my audio in the game. I could hear the chat just great. I could hear Pred just fine, but I couldn't hear the game so well. I could hear it, but it wasn't well. But I have that fixed now. And anyways, someone's like, shout out to Jay, the Matrix Gamer, who hooked me up with helped me out with Twitch. He says to me, "You got to hear the game." I go, "But you don't. You don't with the Division 2. The story's irrelevant. It's a bunch of bad guys, and you keep going through with your friends, and you have fun. You shoot them, you call them bullet sponges, call them whatever you want." I think it was great. I love the game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think Division 2 really capitalized on Division 1's errors. That being said, The Last of Us is a game that it is more story. It was more you sitting there. It's not about Crap throwing the bottle and fooling the clicker and getting them to come over. That's those are the motions you go through in a lot of games. This game was about Joel, the character, taking on this other female protagonist and Ellie, and that was his in his mind. And in a world that has already come to an apocalypse, has become his daughter, and somebody that was completely, just reneging on anything that was love or giving a shit about anything in his life. And he found something else to kind of hold on to. And myself being such a Walking Dead fan, and you saw everything that Rick went through with his wife and then his son, and then, going through it with his daughter. Right, Carl!
Yeah.
Coral! And all those great times. And that's why I kind of say my allegiance to that show. Same thing with The Last of Us. That story was something that you could really, myself, I shouldn't say you, myself, I could grab onto and say that's something that was nearing and endearing. I thought it was a great, great story. So yes, I understand the raft, the no swimming, the throwing the bottle. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. A
lot of those came from the Uncharted series. No kidding. They created Uncharted. So why wouldn't it be in there? Like if 343, created a different type of shooter. Maybe originally in the first game, the guy wouldn't sprint.
Yeah.
All right. So whatever. But my point being is that it's just a matter of, I think that game holds something special. So when you see The Last of Us 2 coming out, I feel bad, unless it's a Rockstar game. I feel bad for any game that comes out against The Last of Us 2 because you're going to lose. And you're going to lose according to Mooch, too. Because I'll be honest with you,
hey, to be clear, you gave God of War
2.
the win over.
Absolutely.
You gave it the win. So for as much as people might think Mooch this or crap that,
people don't realize it. Like God of War was my game of the year last year. Maybe a popular opinion amongst some and unpopular amongst others.
It was a great game. Like, obviously, I really got
mechanics though. Yeah, it was the story. See, I thought story. Yeah. I think story, and I'll give you the mic back. I think the story won on Red Dead Redemption 2. The story of Arthur. Arthur, he won the story, crap.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, and I know we joke about it, but that's Robo Axe, the playing mechanics, it won me over. That was actually the trump card that won God of War over Red Dead Redemption 2 for me personally.
I totally get that. For me, I wasn't expecting to get into Red Dead like I did, and then I put so much time into it that I had trouble playing other games. You know, like for me personally, that's how good that was. It was like 1A to 1B for me. Like I could have made a case for either one, but I thought both were extremely epic games, and I thought both, could have. You couldn't have really argued for either one. So I always thought it was kind of funny when people tried to say, "Oh crap, bet you feel bad, right? Because you thought that Red Dead was going to beat God of War." Like I don't care. I thought they both deserved it. It was really kind of hard to sort of pick one. I don't really think there was a wrong answer there. You know what I mean? So yeah, very, very content with the way things turned out, and I think it turned out well for Sony because they kind of rebuilt this franchise that was on the downturn. You know what I mean? They did a good job with that. So
yeah, agreed.
You know. So anybody else have any thoughts on that? Go
once, going twice.
Go.
Sold.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll take
that. Mooch, here's the thing, panel. Fortnite players no longer matched up with crossplay with PS4 and Xbox One due to performance issues. Now, I love this move, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you have a developer that sees that obviously people playing a Switch are getting their asses handed to them by these other people. Pay attention, Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the Switch version is 30 frames per second, right?
It is.
And you're going against 60 frames per second. That's a huge disadvantage. You got to pay attention. When people start getting their ass kicked in games, they abandon these games very quickly. So, it's going to be one of those situations where Microsoft sort of has to pay attention to this too, and they need to do a really good job of it. Bush, what do you think about this? Is this the right call in your opinion?
It's the right call. I just recently was, and I told you guys this on MNC. I was recently on the road. That's why I wasn't on Xbox Nation last week. I was on the road. I brought my Switch, and I played a good amount of Fortnite on the road. And I'm sitting there, and at first it just wasn't clicking with me. I'm like, why the hell is everything so slow? Yeah, it's 30 frames. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that affects your game, crap. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much. It affected me personally. The game, I played Fortnite with the family. We all play it here. It felt a lot, but we play it on Xbox. I felt like it was a lot slower. It kind of took me out of the experience. So I think it's the right move. From what I'm reading, though, crap, and tell me if I'm wrong, you can't just join and play. They've taken that option away, but you can still play cross-play with friends. So if you're in a party, right, you can still play with Xbox and PlayStation guys on Switch if you're getting invited into a game.
Yeah, I think something like that. But I mean, again, though, it's like you really want to get your kicked in.
Listen, let's be honest, okay? Let's revert back. Pred, I need you for this one. Division 1, right? There's a lot of times my friends that were way, way ahead of me on Division 1, they're like, Mooch, just come on in. Just hang out behind that cop car in the game. We'll level you up. So I still
that happened to me too.
Right? I still wanted to hang out with my friends. So my point is that I like that they're leaving the option open if you want to hang out with your friends that are on PlayStation or Xbox or PC and you have a Switch and you want to play.
Yeah, it's good for parents to play with the kids as well.
Absolutely, Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that part. I just thought it was a little bit odd to me that they're gonna do such a big game like that too.
Right,
and crossplay was like such a big deal, and now for it to kind of
I think crossplay is it is what we thought it was.
Yeah,
it's not as big of a deal.
It's good for some games, but not all.
It is right.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: crossplay was made a big deal by let's just say Xbox fans, right? I mean, if we're honest, because Microsoft was like, hey, crossplay, right? And because there had to be a reason to kind of dog on Sony a little bit, right? I mean, come on, you need something. Am I wrong here?
No, I do think that Microsoft kind of took the forefront and they took the first step forward and they went that way with it. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. I think that you know, we're again, crap. We are in such a crossroads right now. There's so many people that don't really know. They're like, we're in the generation of options. Cross play, cross progression.
Mooch the politician.
I'm not politicking. All I'm doing is reiterating headlines. It's not me. I don't make these decisions. I'm rolling with the punches like you guys are. I mean, it's you know what I mean? It's cross play, cross platform. And then you got the games are everywhere, and you can play them here, you can play them over there. People are kind of feeling it out, saying, "Is this a good idea? Does this work for me, or does this work for everybody?" And I think that the gaming companies are saying, "Let's put these games everywhere, let them make the decisions, and then go from there." Myself personally, I told you guys, I don't care. I'm going to be playing on Xbox 90% of the time, and then I'll be playing on PC or PS4 the other 10% of the time. And that's just the way it is for me. Now, next generation, when it comes out, if something drastic happens on Xbox, I don't know. We don't know yet. But the plan that they have out has me still fully engaged. I'm going to have an Anaconda day one. I'm going to have a PS5 day one and go from there, crap. It's too hard to tell right now. Too many rumors, too many snowballs turning into avalanches. It's just it's chaos, to be honest with you.
Yeah, hey, you're not wrong. I think you're probably dead. You're probably pretty much as right as you could be on that. You know what I mean? Just
people are undecided, crap. You ask Fox, you ask Pred. I've talked to Pred a bunch. We've had Fox on here, unbelievably opinionistic, and she says, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah,
I got to see what's going on.
Yeah, hey, I agree 100%. I think you're definitely right. Mooch, I know you have the Division 2, so I don't have it yet. I want to mooch a copy. If anybody's watching and you're like, hey man, crap, he's a real swell guy, I want to hook him up. He's swell.
He's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that game? Because I know you've played it. Is it what you thought it was, or is it better than you thought it would be?
So, it's exactly what people have been saying it is. Okay. It's a polished, what we always wanted Division 1 to be. And I'll let Pred take the mic in a second, because Pred's got a great review on this. I mean, he's played way more Division 1. But listen, Division 2 fixes the uh-ohs and oops. I'll be honest with you, it's more Division, folks. Listen, I'm going to be very, very blunt. If you guys didn't like Division 1, don't walk into Division 2 being like, wow, what is this game? You're going to look ridiculous. It's Division. It's the same, Pred, please chime in.
It's
Pred.
the same. If you religiously play Division and you pick this up, I would say it's almost like DLC. It's like there's a couple of different there's a couple of different things in the game that are different. Like some of the mechanics are a little different. Some of the things you do are a little bit different, but it's not like crazy different.
No.
But if you played Division 1 up until 1.3, maybe 1.4, and didn't touch it again, you'd be like, oh, this is awesome. But if you play it all the way through all the updates, you probably think, okay, this is just an extension. Everything they did wrong at the launch of Division 1, they got right at this launch.
Agreed.
Because they had so much time and so many updates between to fix it, and it went through its growing pains, and people who didn't like it left, and people who loved it stayed. And when they pick this up, it's going to be just basically a new story for them going forward and starting over. So if you left Division 1 angry, you'll be pretty happy with Division 2.
I think Pred nailed it, by the way. That's exactly how I feel. You're going to walk in, the game looks, feels, sounds like Division 1. The thing they did was all the little hiccups and hang-ups and things you had wrong with Division 1, they fixed in Division 2. That's really the beginning and the end of it, crap. It's a much better, much more polished game.
Well, let me ask you this, Mooch, because we both played the Division 1, and I thought that was a hell of a week for the first game. The week that I put into it, I thought was pretty cool. Do you think this game has some staying power?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you actually think this version has some staying power as opposed to the last one, which I guess which didn't.
Well, the reason, and it's funny you asked that question. I asked Pred last night when we played. I said, Pred, what do you think? I said, you gonna play this into the summer? He goes, absolutely. The thing that Pred said, and Pred gave you the top level answer, which was the best way to put it on a podcast, is everything that you wanted Division 1 to be, it is here. Pred, maybe you can answer this a little bit better than me. But I think that people need to know what that 1 year content was that me and you have getting the gold or ultimate edition versus the standard edition. Are they not going to get that 1 year content?
It's free. I was reading it last night when we were playing. So basically the 1 year guys, like me and you, like we get the game early. We get all the DLC early. We get the ugly little fucking outfits early. So all the content comes to us early. It is still free for everybody up to the first year. Second year content, I'm sure we'll all have to pay for. I think our biggest perk is we get everything. As 1 year subscribers, we get everything early. That's the only difference.
Let's see. So, I mean, crap, myself personally, and I know, don't get me wrong, I don't blame you for, mooching's contagious. Mooching is in all of us. Right? You're in the mall and you walk by the food court and somebody's like, would you like this chicken? And they hand you the toothpick with the chicken on it. What do? You go, hey, I'm not really hungry, but I'll take it. So my point, right? Foxy knows what I'm saying. So my whole point is that we'll take a gift, but crap, to be honest with you, and we've had this discussion off podcasting. It's not your bag, baby. It's just not your bag.
Same. It's not mine either.
Right? I mean, crap would play Division. He would get about 2-3 hours in, and that's if he played with me in a group, and then he'd be like, you know what? Yeah, Mooch, I'll see you next Friday. We'll do it again. Gone. Never see him again. He's gone.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a thing because you have to play this game forever. Like, this isn't a game. You don't pick it up. You don't play it for 20 hours and be like, I got it.
Yeah.
I win. No, you didn't win. You did not win. You got to play this game for 60, 80, 100, 120, or some people tell you there's a comma involved. 1,000 hours into this thing.
Yeah. So are you saying how's the Dark Zone compared to the last ones?
Well, now you're getting a little bit the cart before the horse here, crap. Okay, I got about 2 hours in. I'm not even past where the beta brought me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I just beat a couple. What I did was I went through the main mission, right? Created the character, got through the intro, went into the operations, which is the White House, the base of operations. Went out, did 2 main missions, and I think we did a side mission. And we're still at the forefront, very beginning of the game. So nowhere's near crap the Dark Zone area for me. I don't think you can enter the Dark Zone. And Pred, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't enter it until you're level 30, right? And I'm level 4.
I'm not sure what level you have to be. I'm at level 11, and I'm still not even looking to go into the Dark Zone right now. So
interesting.
There's a lot more in this game to do than the original Division. So you're gonna grind it out, but it won't be like a constant. I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. Grind. There's a huge story in the game. It's gonna give you a lot of stuff to do, and then the in-game content. Besides the Dark Zone, you have PvP. You've got there's an 8-person raid coming out. Another, I guess, a couple of incursions coming out here pretty soon. So there's a lot to do. There's enough to keep you occupied for the year.
Okay. Interesting stuff.
What do you think, Crab? I mean, realistically, mooching aside, what do you think? Do you think it's something that's like when you see these games, the anthems, the divisions, what goes through your mind?
I like to play the story. I like the story of the First Division, right? I don't know if I'm not interested in doing dailies and all this kind of stuff, though. You know what I mean?
Like the raids and the whatever, the Dark Zones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not interested in that at all. I'm more interested in playing through the campaign with my friends, and sort of that's basically the extent of it. So I know, weird, right?
No, it's not weird.
Yeah, I mean,
not your type of game. As a long term, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how I look at these type of games. Like the story is interesting to me, but the rest of it kind of not really so much. So like I said though, I to each their own, man. I think that these type of games are going to continue to grow because they're online games and they're service-based games, and they can continue to, add these different things to it. And I think that's cool. I like them, but I like more traditional multiplayer games where it's like kind of versus and stuff like that. So, I would love to play the portion with friends though. You know what I mean? Like, I think that sounds pretty amazing. So, I would definitely love that. But with that being said, we're at 2 hours already. We've had a hell of a show. I think the show did extremely well. You guys really the chat's been popping. Sad to say we lost a member today, but we'll soldier on. What do we got a saying, Mooch? What's it say? The show must go on.
We've got to always do the show. The show is scheduled, and we do the show. But I mean, to be honest with you, I am going to severely miss.
Absolutely, man. He does great stuff, man. He does.
Awesome,
we're gonna miss him. Definitely appreciate you coming in and doing the show. It's not gonna be the same, but if anybody's looking to podcast, let me know. I'm quickly running out of people to do the show with. So if you've ever wanted to get your 2 cents out, and by the way,
stop
Xbox
scaring
Nation,
them away.
Yeah,
nerd.
exactly. So yeah, if you guys definitely are, if somebody's looking for that, hit me up on Twitter. I guess that's about all I have to say. Booch, what do we got going on?
Well, we got a lot going on, buddy. Well, I got a very busy weekend. And listen, a lot of people saw what I was tweeting out. Listen, nothing new. I'm doing Xbox Nation. I'm doing Crossfire. I'm doing MNC. But it was funny. I was sitting here, Crap, and I'll take a quick second. I know we have outros going on, but I was sitting there about 2 months ago, and I'm saying to myself, and I told Crap this too. I said, I'm playing all these games on Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. I said, let me get into a little bit of streaming, and for some reason I did the Mixer thing, and I'm going to do Mixer too, by the way. I'll be on Mixer next Tuesday. But I said, let me do the Twitch thing. I was watching a lot of the guys on Twitch, and I said, Twitch has a lot of options. I'm having fun with it. And shout out to Pred, who's on the panel tonight, which is great. Pred came on with me last night. Shout out to Jay the Matrix Gamer also, who came on and helped mod the channel. I really thought, I said, you know what? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, while I'm just goofing off and playing, why don't you come play new games with me? I'll play new games all the time, or series of games, and you get a little bit of mooch commentating. So that being said, Crap always joins when he can. Crap will be joining me, hopefully. Twitch!
Yes. Somebody asked, somebody goes, Mooch, why not Mixer? And I says, Mooch is going with the PS4 of streaming services, not the Xbox of streaming services. And I am 100% accurate.
Listen, I always love a good challenge, like that's why we play games, right? Twitch offers a little bit more to the streamer. They offer more different things to do, like on the screen, things for the interactions to happen with the people watching the stream and the streamer themselves. And I did my research on it. And me and Crap have done a ton of Mixer. I'm going to keep doing Mixer. I have my Mixer account. But I wanted to dabble with Twitch because I've never really dabbled with Twitch, and I think it's an interesting thing. So the Mooch78, same as YouTube and everything else. Go over, check me out on twitch.tv. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I really am. I'm going to be doing 3-4 days a week of just gaming, having fun. I'm gaming anyway.
Yeah, you might as well stream that shit, right?
Right. In the past 3 weeks, Crap, I've put, 25 hours into Crackdown. I'm going to do 2-hour sessions. Check it out. Have fun. We'll talk about gaming news while we're just bullshitting and playing the game. And then also check it out. We got Crossfire on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Lord's time. And then we got MNC show on Crap's channel this Sunday, 11 a.m. right here on this channel you're at right now. So it's gonna be it's a mooch weekend for you guys. My God,
it's insane.
You're excited.
It's completely insane,
right?
Yes.
Thank you, Fox.
Exactly. Foxy, that was like a Crossfire type outro, dude. Jeez.
I apologize, but I'm very grateful I did it.
No, I'm glad too, man. It's actually good stuff.
Awesome.
Foxy, what do you got going on?
Check out my channel. I shared my physical Xbox One collection if you guys want to see what's on my shelf. Yeah, it's like over 50 games. Go check it out. Leave me a comment. And then besides that, I just want to say thanks to everybody in the chat for showing up. And I'm gonna miss Salty, so I'm kind of sad about that. Yeah,
absolutely, man. I'll miss the whole back and forth with him and Mooch for the most part, man. You'll definitely be missed, my friend. And special thanks to Predator for guesting last minute. We really appreciate you, dude. What do you got going on, my friend?
Let me see. I will be on Four Guys at Quarters next week. I believe they do their show.
Clowns.
I am on. So next Wednesday, obviously, next podcast is Saturday, where I'll be bringing you guys that game-winning gameplay, award-winning.
Have you been winning a lot lately without the
I'm not,
Don?
'cause you keep voting for Don's fucking matchup. No, I haven't. I didn't have any content last week. I was busy, so I will be back this week with some stuff. So
looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll have XBot back next week. We've put out the XBot signal. We need you now more than ever, my friend. And with that, we'll catch you guys next week. Be good to each other. Have a great time. Remember, just opinions. It's all good, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Later.